Hello viewers, welcome to KB classes and welcome to yet another demo session today. So what's the uh, main aim of this particular live session? So the aim is to give all of you students who are preparing for um, NIFT and ID, NATA, CEED and UCEED, to these students to give a live demo of our online classes, right? So a lot of students, they come up with a query that how are these classes are going to be conducted, whether all our doubts will be solved or not, whether we will be able to understand what is happening in the class or not, whether we follow it or not. So here we are today with a live session where I will be drawing certain things. I'll be teaching you the way I teach to my students in the session, and I'll demonstrate you few things. And the only difference is when we are interacting in a particular live session, there's a two-way interaction that keeps happening. Right now, it will be a one-way interaction, right? So in case you have joined in to this particular session, do comment your doubts and your questions, right? And also remember, while we are conducting these sessions, we keep that in mind that not every student is same. Not every student will have the same grasping power, and they will be, having doubts. So they are free to ask me their doubts anytime in between the session if they are not understanding anything. So let's get started, guys. So the topic that we are going to study today is 2-point perspective, right? Because in our last session we had done 1-point perspective. If you haven't watched it, so you can go back and watch. So we had discussed about the basics of 1-point perspective. So it's a continuation of that particular series. Okay, so in case you have some doubts, you can always go back and see that particular video, right? So we'll continue today with 2-point perspective, and let's see what it is. So just to give you a little backstory, if you are new to our channel and if you were not following us all this while, so perspective drawing, this particular topic is extremely important and a very uh, it's one of the foundation topics, right? So any student who are getting into design or architecture, they need to understand how to create a 3D space or a 3D structure on a 2D surface. Like this is 2D, right? When you take a picture, photograph something, although it's 2D, the outcome is 2D, but still you see the depth, right? If there is a road which is going far away, if there is a tree which is very far from you, you would understand that. But when it comes to drawing, there's a lot of mistakes students do it, right? And we will help you to visualize the perspective part over here, right? So let's get started. I'll start with drawing the margin, right? Why I'm drawing the margin, you will come to know, because in 2-point perspective, we will be taking the eye level and we will be taking the points outside the page. Okay, so I'll be keeping it in the portrait because I think that's visible in a much better manner. Okay, so let's first try and understand that what is this 2-point perspective. So previously when we studied 1-point perspective, we saw that 1-point perspective is a linear perspective. Okay, 2-point perspective. I hope you're able to see clearly. Yeah. So there are two components of perspective drawing, any particular perspective drawing, and the two components, as in without these two components, you cannot come up with your drawing. Okay. So the two components are the vanishing point vanishing point and okay, vanishing point and eye level. So please remember that these are the two things, and as the name suggests, over here, the vanishing point, we have two vanishing points. Okay, two vanishing points are there. Now, the first step is we always take the eye level. Okay, no matter what sort of perspective we are working on, you have to determine the eye level. It is like whatever you are seeing, there's an eye level, right? So yes, that is one of the most important part. So here is my eye level, right? Now the difference is in 1-point perspective, it was a linear perspective, and we had drawn the vanishing point somewhere inside the page, right? Because why? Because the vanishing point is right opposite to the viewer. But when it comes to 2-point perspective, right? Then why we are not drawing the vanishing points inside the page? Because the points are away from each other. You have to draw them as far as possible, right? So that's why I'm taking it outside my page. Okay, take it outside your page. A lot of cases when we are doing any scene drawing or certain interiors or something, we try and take it outside, even the not even outside the boundary but outside the page. Right now we're just taking it outside the boundary. So this is the first step you have to do. And then please remember that, so we are drawing the cuboids. So in 1-point, a particular plane was looking at you. In 2-point, the corner will be facing you, right? So you are somewhere here, and these are the two vanishing points, like your peripheral vision, absolutely away from each other. You start with the corner. Before this, I don't want to repeat it again. All my students, I keep saying that in case you are starting to draw and you're keen in drawing, start with a lot of line drawing practice. Okay, try not to use scale in your general basic drawings. And so here is the corner. We are converging this particular side with vanishing. I'll just name it 1 and 2. So with vanishing point 2, and this particular side converges with the vanishing point 1. Okay. we have one box which is below our eye level, which we have converged with these two vanishing points. Please also note that the conversion is happening. This is, getting converged at these vanishing points. They are actually parallel lines. Okay, they don't look parallel because of the distortion which is happening, but in reality they are parallel. Now, what happens if something is there on your eye level? So let's assume it's a building and much taller than you. That's why it's going above eye level. Okay, so you can neither see the top or neither see the bottom. Over here, you can definitely see the top, right? So this is again another rule of perspective, that anything which is below your eye level, you can always see the top of it. Next is, let's draw something which is above eye level. Let's start with the corner. So you will see examples like the AC, the split AC. Basically, they are always above eye level and they are cuboidal. So what happens is you see the bottom of it. You see the bottom of it, right? So this is example of your 2-point perspective basic boxes, right? So as in my last demo session also, I showed you certain products, like how they will look if they are in 2-point perspective, right? So let's see, let's make a particular product. Let's see how it will look if we are looking at it in 2-point perspective. So I'm making a fresh sketch. That's why I have taken a new eye level. So let's see, for example, so now I'm drawing an open shelf. This part will be open. This is the corner which is facing me, and this is the side of it. Now please remember that anything which is above the eye level, you will be able to see the base of it, right? So now imagine it's open. So you would be able to see the base of this particular ceiling. Now, always in case you are getting confused that which line should be converging where, so it's a very easy trick. Just see that this particular part and this part are parallel. Okay, so whichever line is parallel in actuals, you converge it. They always converge with the same vanishing point, right? So this one is converging here. Okay, saw that. So it's easy. This particular line and this line, and here you got the inner part of that thing. Same is with the base. Okay, so here you have got it. I'll make the extra lines a little lighter. I'll make this high level. I'll fade it off a bit. I hope you are understanding this. Now we'll put the shelves in place. So shelf accordingly. So we'll have a shelf over here. We'll have a shelf little bit near to the eye level. Let's have one over here, which is above eye level. Okay. And now how do we draw it? Yes. It's the same thing. Okay, so this is what you have to keep in mind. I'm making this part a little bit more thicker because I'm just assuming that this is wood, and wood has got its own thickness. They are not just simple plain lines. And there it is. Erase the lines which are hiding behind. Okay, it's still, these two are still below eye level, but this one is above eye level. So what happens? You see the bottom part of it. Right? So this is how, I'm not doing any sort of, okay, I'll give a little bit of detailing. So this is an example of an open shell in 2-point perspective. Practice this so that you get the concept right over here in an easy manner. Now let's try and draw another object, and then we will be also drawing a particular room. Okay, interior. So vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2, and let's see what we are drawing today. I'm just looking for an object for some sort of inspiration. Okay, I have a charger right here, so I'll draw a charger. So I'm assuming that now you can draw it below eye level also, you can draw it on eye level also. I'm just drawing it on the eye level. One will be on the eye level, the other one I can draw it below eye level. So this is the basic structure of my charger. It has got curved edges, so I'll curve it out. Giving it a little bit of a thickness. And this particular part, it has got a little less. Okay, then we will be drawing the pins. So what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the midpoint so that I can place it, have a proper placement of the pins. Okay. Now please remember, the pins are somewhere not exactly on the eye level. Yeah, they are. So I'm drawing the area. So pins are, of course, they are cylindrical, but when we will be drawing them, we will be first drawing it like a, you need to try and draw it like a cuboid, and then you can make it curve it out. this particular pin is overlapping the other one. Yeah. So this one's charger, which is on the eye level. Now, what if it's below eye level? So quickly we'll have a look at that as well. Okay. So this is the same style, but now since it's below eye level, you can see the top of it. So these are the simple things that you need to remember. Okay, if you are drawing a particular scene, if you are drawing a particular room, please remember these things. Okay, that what are the things that will fall under your eye level, what will be on the eye level, what is going above eye level, right? So these aspects, if you keep them in mind, your drawing looks logical, because you can see, it doesn't matter how well you can draw, but if you don't know certain rules, it would not be useful for you, right? You need to know these particular rules and need to apply logic to your drawing. Okay, so when it comes to CEED, when it comes to NID, they would trick you in a particular manner. They will never give you very direct questions in terms of perspective. They will not say, okay, make a room from 2 point perspective or make a study room from 1 point perspective. No, they might give you an image of a particular room and they might mark, okay, from the right hand side if you're looking at the left corner, right? So what will it look like? So those are the things that you have to keep in mind. Okay, so once you have mastered all the tricks, once you have mastered all the rules of these perspective or maybe human figures or the principle of design, it just helps you to come up with sketches that would make complete sense. Same method we are applying, we are converting it into a box. Then we will convert it into a cylinder. curve it out. Okay, so this is a charger which is below our eye level. Now, let's see how to draw interiors. Quickly, we will see a basic sketch of an interior. So, we'll again have the eye level. Now, when you are drawing 2-point perspective, please remember here what was happening? We were outside the box. Now we are inside the box. Let's consider that the room is a cuboid, and now we are inside the cuboid. So what happens? How do we take the lines? How do we make the walls? Again, this is our eye level, vanishing point 1, vanishing point 2. So again, we are inside the room. That means the wall, like for example, I'm inside the cabin. Right? So I have the ceiling above my eye level, the floor below my eye level, and I'm sitting. So my eye level is low. Okay, if I stand, my eye level will be higher. So I'm just assuming a normal height person standing and looking at a room. Okay, so I'm assuming that it's a 12 feet tall room. Now what is happening over here is you are inside the box. Okay. Now if you just converge it like this, what you don't get the structure of the room. So you have to take this particular point, look at it very, very carefully. I'll make the corners a little smaller so that I have more space to draw things on the floor. I'm assuming this is the floor. This is the corner of the room. So you are converging and see this. So extending it like this. Okay, same as over here. You extend it like this. So here we got the walls, right, and the floor and the ceiling. Okay, it's looking a little off because I just drew it in a very less space. Now there's a difference between two. Here we were making a box. We were outside the box. We were looking at it from the outside. Here we are inside the box. So whenever we are making walls, always whenever you're making a 2-point perspective, start with the corner. You can make the corner over here. You can make the corner over here. Practice it out. Okay. Try that particular thing out, how it is looking. Okay. And from this point, you take and extend. From this particular point, you are taking it and extending it. Same over here. You're extending it. I think this much is clear. Now, how do you place things? Please remember, you should always, if you have to place a painting on this particular wall, keep in mind that all the edges, all the lines will be parallel to this wall itself. So, in case you want to put a painting, which is like very flat or maybe just a poster. So you make the okay. So this is how it will look. Right? You don't have to get confused. Always see which line is this converging. Right? And it has to be parallel to this wall, and this wall is going and converging with this particular point. So you will be drawing it from this point. Now if I have to make a table over here, I always like to mark the area on the floor. So if I have to keep a table, maybe it's taking up this particular space. Cool. And then I will extend it. Keep in mind that you cannot take the table too high if you are standing and looking at the table. It has to be under your eye level. Also go check what is the basic height of a dining table, of a center table, right? So as design students, you need to know the proportion. You need to know what are the sizes of a room, whether it's a 10 feet tall wall or it's a 12 feet. So generally, you need to know all of these things. You need to understand the sizing also. That is altogether a different topic, but all the topics come in together when you are drawing a particular scene. So in a room, you will have perspective, you will have proportions, you will have textures, right? You will definitely have elements and principles of design because that is how you would be putting elements inside your room. So each and every topic is important, and always understand why are you learning a particular topic. Question that. Like for example, if you are somebody who is going for fashion designing, right? And you are being taught perspective. So always question your faculties that why am I taught perspective drawing? Why will it come in my examination? Why aren't fashion related questions coming? So you will get certain answers, right? But do put up that question while you are learning something. Why? How? Or how can I do it in a much better manner? These are the questions that should arise in the mind of any design student. So here I am giving it a height. I hope you were watching while I was sketching this to see which line, which part is going converging where. If I have to make a door over here, now see doors are generally around 7 feet in height. Definitely it will go above your eye level, way above your eye level. Don't just make it on your eye level because then it would mean it's a very small door. I'll place another cabinet over here. Always remember that whenever you are placing elements as interior, as part of your interior, just look at it as cuboids. Like you are placing multiple cuboids. You can do the shaping, you can do the detailing later on. But first, just the basic structure, the skeleton of it. Do let us know in the comments if this particular session was useful. If you want us to add something or improvise, definitely we are open to your suggestions. Right? So this is how you go on putting your elements in 2-point perspective. Now one very important thing. I'm just making it a little more neater. So here for your understanding and ease, I have drawn the vanishing point over here, right? Outside the boundary. Now imagine if there is an almirah, right? If you have to place an almirah over here, it is too much in the corner. Till here it was fine for me. This particular part was not getting too converged. Okay, it was not converging too much. So it was okay for me. So, but if I have to place something over here, I would allow it to continue, to go outside my vicinity or to go outside my boundary. I'm not completing it by showing this particular corner also. Because when I show it in continuation, it looks more natural. Or else, if you try to converge with this particular point, it will look very, very weird. So this is how I'll be looking, as if, for example, I'm making an almirah. So for example, the almirah, I'm just looking a part of it. Okay, the whole thing is not visible. So these kind of elements just make your work look more natural. So just a little bit of the thing. Then now I want little more variation, so I'll add maybe a vase or a planter over here. Again, I'm not showing the whole thing, just a part of it is visible. So a lot of overlapping when happens, your sketch starts looking very natural. But first of all, you have to also take care of what sort of perspective you guys are working on. And you can definitely give texture to the floor, little bit of a hint. It helps to visualize the 3D nature very well. One point of caution that you have to keep in mind, don't make the lines on the floor very dark. Okay, just keep it very, very subtle, little bit of a hint. Like I have made it very subtle so that it's not looking too, messy. And it gives a 3D look to your particular sketch that you are doing. So I hope you understood what is the basics of 2-point perspective. I'll just do a little bit of a recap once again for you guys. Okay. So 2-point perspective, it has two vanishing points, and of course eye level is inevitable, right? So here wherever we are drawing, while you guys are practicing, draw eye level, you have the vanishing points away from each other. If they are always poles apart from each other, they cannot be inside the page. You will make mistakes in your drawing in case you are making it inside the page. Always, as a thumb rule, try to make it outside your boundary. Your drawing area, whatever is your drawing area, you need to put it outside. Okay, you can erase it later on in your examination when you're working. Don't draw it with pen. Okay, you can always erase it. You can always definitely erase the perspective lines. Okay, you're not supposed to have them. It will make your sketch look extremely untidy. So please take care of it. You can go on erasing it later on. Okay. Right now I have it so that you can understand how we went about with the whole thing. Then 2-point perspective is where you have two vanishing points and the edge. Basically the edge of any object is facing. Sorry, it's not the edge, but it's the corner. The corner of a object is facing you, right? And you converge the respective lines accordingly. Anything on the eye level, you can neither see the top, you can neither see the bottom. It can be a building or something. Right? Here we have something which is above eye level. Okay? Here I had drawn an open shelf. So here it goes. You start with the corner. You make the basic structure. You establish which particular part you want it to be open. Okay, you can do this, whichever one. and accordingly you make the shelf. Always see which line is parallel to which particular line in reality. So accordingly, they will have a common vanishing point. Right? And here we had charger on eye level and above below eye level, and a basic sketch of a room. This is not interior sketching session, so we just did the basic of how to take the walls, how to determine the height. Now, please remember, if you are increasing the height, again it depends on this how much space you are using. But whenever you are increasing the size of the corner, it means you are near to that particular corner. So it depends how much space you have on a sheet, and accordingly you can make a corner. Accordingly, you can take the height. You have to try it out. You need to try a lot of combination and see what sort of results you are getting. Okay. So I hope this particular class was useful for you guys. Right? Do practice it. Do watch our previous video where we were talking about one point perspective. Learn all these things, and yeah, this is exactly how we interact in our class. We uh, take up the session, whichever faculty is there. This is how they will be teaching you guys, and I guess it shouldn't be a problem for people who are outstation students and who are willing to take up online classes, right? So thanks for watching, guys, and do let us know if you have any doubts. You can call us and get in touch with our counselors and our faculties and interact with them, and clear your doubts with them. Okay? Thank you so much, and I'll see you with a new video in our